Eileen. Hey, Joe. Hi, Susan. Joe, are you muted? Did I mute you or are you muted on your own?
Me?
No, Joe, I'm trying to see if he's, all right, I'm on.
I did it. I did it.
Okay. Okay.
It's recording already. Everyone should know.
Yes, it is. Everyone should know that. Yanni can sometimes adjust it. So everybody's muting themselves. Hi,
Is that
Mike.
what you do?
Mike, you're in very darkness there. All right, let's see.
But I'm in the opening, so I can't.
Okay, so this is being recorded, everyone, just so you know.
Yep.
Okay. All right, there's Kevin. Okay, and Tom DiPaolo,
Do we have any visitors?
Mr. DiPaolo and Mike Renga so far. Okay. Okay, so if everybody that's here mutes themselves, then the board can unmute because we're not taking public comment. Okay. And we have Lindsay Porcello and Brittany Wozniak who are here for their administrative intern classes.
Okay.
Yes, and they're going to mute themselves. Hi, Lynn.
Congratulations again on your tenure.
I don't think she can hear you yet.
Okay.
There's Brittany, there's Lindsay.
Hi.
Congratulations on your tenure appointments again.
Oh, thank you very much.
Is that Brittany?
That
Okay, I'm going to mute.
was Lindsay, I think.
Okay, is that Lindsay?
Yeah.
All right, she's muted. I think I have, all right. 14 participants. I just want to make sure that everybody I have. So the board should be unmuted. Everyone else, Sue, you can unmute yourself if you need to. Right? I didn't mute you, right? Sue, you did it yourself? Okay. All right.
How are you, Mr. Ranga?
He can't talk.
The gatekeeper's got him quiet.
I'll unmute him for a second. Go ahead, Mike, say hi.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
I really wish I had a mute button in real life. How nice that would be. I'm going to mute you now. Okay, Mike?
Yes, it would be great.
Should we get started?
Up to you.
Okay, do you have the flag so that for
I
the
do. I have a flag. I'm going to share.
no,
screen.
I like your flags, but Christine had a very nice flag for our last one, so.
Okay, all right, be that way. Be that way, John.
Okay, all rise for the pledge. And
Place your hand up. I pledge
Yeah.
oh, sorry. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to
and to the republic for which it stands,
One
one nation,
under
under
God.
God, indivisible,
with
with liberty
Justice.
justice.
for all.
for all.
Please remain standing. Heavenly Father, we invoke thy blessing on all in attendance here and on those we serve. Help us to bring wisdom and humanity to our deliberations and thy spirit to our work. Please be seated.
Thank you very much, Vice President Bolzomi and Trustee Locurdo. I call to order the Carl Place Union Free School District Business Board of Education meeting for May 19th, 2020 to order. Thank you everybody for coming tonight. First item on the agenda is comments, Board of Education comments. Again, thank you. And congratulations to Ms. Wozniak and Ms. Porcello on their tenure appointments last week. Or was the week late last week or the week before? Last week, I believe.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Congratulations again. I also want to thank the administration and the principals for the work with the Carl Place Pride that we got in the mail about a week or so ago. and I like the title, The School Year Reimagined. I guess Mr. Governor Cuomo did not realize that the word reimagined was been used before, and that we believe in reimagining education a little bit differently than he does. And we're gonna push back on what he has to say, and we're gonna do what we think is best, for our kids, and support the fine work that our teachers are doing right now, and our administrators and our principal. So, local control works, and we're doing a fine job with it. So thank you. I want to acknowledge the live learning that's been done by a lot of our colleagues, by a lot of our teaching colleagues from the beginning of this process. Thank you very much for your work in doing live learning from the beginning. And also thank you very much for helping your colleagues with live learning as we've moved into this stage of it. We're now into live learning stage and everything. And one of the things that we as a school district is looking at, and as a board is looking at, is how, we don't know what the September is going to look like. So one of the things we're looking at is looking at a one-to-one initiatives and the security and the infrastructure that we need behind it. The board has been very active in working on this over the years, and we're actively discussing as a board what needs to be done to go forward based upon input from our administration and central administrators. And so we're moving forward on that. One thing I would like to ask Dr. Georgiadis, if you could speak about some of the work you've been doing with the infrastructure and technology and everything, as far as with software and and systems, and during this whole process, if you could comment.
Sure. We update security. We're staying on top of it. Every other week, we release the patches and the security upgrades for all Windows systems. We recently upgraded our Zoom to include the version 5.0, which includes encryption. We're using all the security updates that we have gotten from Google. So anytime something new comes out, the technology department will develop like a quick facts handout, a video, and a PowerPoint, depending on the learning styles of the people in the district. We send those out just to keep people abreast of what's going on.
Okay. And how are we doing also as far as cybersecurity? Are we keeping, I'm sure we're keeping up to date on that, or what's?
Definitely. We're keeping track of current phishing trends in order to keep everybody informed what to look for, what to avoid. We are always updating our patches and our systems. We block anything that might be a keyword or any kind of location that we see in the news that's a current phishing or malware hotspot, and we just are constantly on the lookout for those things just to keep our district safe.
Yeah, the one thing I heard about recently on a course I took for my company as far as cybersecurity was that people are doing, or hackers are doing, is sending invites to people, and they use an invite as a way to get access to somebody's computer. Are we doing something? Are we trying to telling our people to be very careful about those things?
We did send out an email just to inform everybody that this is out there and just to be aware of it. We also blocked the domain from being able to send emails to our district. So those are going to be quarantined the second they even try to send it to us. And any other such phishing scandals we've been handling in the same way. We find out what domain they're coming from or what region. We block them and we try to send out an email informing everyone of what's going on.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I'll before I leave it to my other board members if they want to make comments, I just wanted to say also that first two things. One is Trustee McLaughlin could not be with us tonight. He sends his apologies. Fortunately, work commitments, an unexpected work commitment got in the way, and he's not able to attend. So his apologies for missing this meeting, as it was very important to him, but he had to attend to a work commitment that came up today. The other thing I want to mention is that this meeting is being recorded. You may send your questions in to the district clerk, and we'll answer your questions. So it's being recorded, and it can be accessed after this meeting, as recording. Plus, you can send, not to repeat myself, but you can send questions to the district clerk and when I answer them. With that, any other board members like to make comments?
I'd like to, President DeFrisco. I just want to recognize Mike, if you could pass the message along, Mike Renga, Tom DiPaolo, all the principals. These are unique times. I don't think anybody expected us being out for the remainder of the year, let alone, a couple of weeks. But obviously, we've all had to adapt. And while not perfect, I know that, we've improved, every day we've improved. And Dr. Finn and Tom and Mike, your staff have been phenomenal. In the beginning, it was a little, everybody was caught off guard and, we were getting complaints, and now I don't hear anything. Well, it may not be perfect. I think we've come a long way, and you should all be recognized for your efforts. So I do want to say that, and thank you guys for that.
Thank you. Yeah, very well said, Vice President Bolzomi.
Thank you.
Okay. There being no other comments from the board, Dr. Finn, superintendent's comments?
Hi, everybody. As Mr. DeFrisco alluded to, the district is seriously looking into a one-to-one initiative for our students. We are hoping we will be back to school in September. We don't know what it will look like, but a one-to-one initiative is definitely the way to go. Just in general, never mind if COVID-19 is still rearing its ugly head in September. Right now, COVID-19 has impacted our school year tremendously. As you know, we worked through our spring break, and we are going to be ending the school year on June 16th. That is a Tuesday, and that will be because our teachers will have met their contractual obligation of 182 days. We are grateful to all of our teachers for all of their hard work. It is an understatement, and I know the board agrees with me on this, how far we've come in such a short period of time. Many of our teachers hit the ground running and were doing live interactions right from day one. They graciously assisted their colleagues along with Mrs. Georgiados and her IT team so that people who had not previously been comfortable with that kind of platform became comfortable with it. And every week we got better and better. So I hope we don't have to use this in September, but we are certainly prepared to if we have to. Also, final exams. Back in April, we had decided we would do final exams because we were hoping we would come back to school in September. Well, I'm sorry, before the end of the year, and that is not the case. So the district is going to, like many, many school districts in Nassau County, embrace a do no harm policy, which means no final exams. So I will send out a letter to the community tomorrow with more details about that, but I thought I would make that announcement tonight. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Finn. District Clerk, was there any comments from the public regarding agenda items only or any questions regarding the agenda items only that we need to address?
There were none received regarding the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is the NYSBA budget vote and slate of officers. I will read this because it's before consent agenda. Whereas Nassau Suffolk School Boards Association has submitted its proposed 2020-2021 budget and proposed 2020-2021 slate of officers and members of the executive committee for the approval of its member boards, the Carle Place Union Free School District Board of Education authorizes the district clerk to record the outcome of the votes and notify Nassau Suffolk School Boards Association of the results. I'll read off each of the, District Clerk, I'll read off each of these be it resolves first, and then I'll poll the board members on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Be it resolved that the Nassau Suffolk School Board Association proposed budget for the 2020-2021 school year as accepted by NYSBA's Executive Committee be and hereby is Vice President Bolzomi.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You broke up a little bit, John. Can you repeat that? My apologies.
Okay. Be it resolved that the Nassau Suffolk School Board Association proposed budget for the 2020-2021 school year as accepted by NYSBA's Executive Committee be and hereby is. Do you approve?
I approve. Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, thank you because I don't think I said the word approve before. So approved, Vice President Bolzomi.
Yes.
Trustee Locurdo, do you approve?
I approve.
Or not? Okay, trustee Zino?
Yes, I approve.
Okay, and President DeFrisco approves. So we approve that 4-0, District Clerk Sue.
Okay.
Next item, be it resolved that the Nassau Suffolk School Board Association proposed 2020-2021 slate of officers and members of the executive committee as presented by NISBA's nominating committee be and hereby is Vice President Bolzomi, do you approve of the slate of officers and executive
I
member?
do approve of this. Officer.
Okay. Trustee Lucurdo?
I approve.
Trustee Zino?
Yes, I approve.
President DeFrisco approves also. So District Clerk approves was approved 4-0.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. May I have a motion for the consent agenda? I'm sorry.
I'll move Bolzomi. Oh, sorry.
Seconded Lucurdo.
Okay, so Bolzomi, Lucurdo, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passed 4-0, passed unanimously.
Okay.
And the next item on the agenda is, okay, public comments on any other items. District Clerk, is there any questions from
No
We need
other
to-
questions? Just one question was received for the board.
you want to ask us so we can address it, or?
In a moment, and I open that.
Okay, sorry, didn't mean to put you on the spot, sorry.
I am right there.
Sue, if you can't.
Oh,
Regarding,
yes, I do have that question. Can you hear me? I don't see you, but I can read the question if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, and this is from resident Carolyn Waldron. She asked, I would like to ask the board if they will be holding a meet the candidates session online so we can see and hear from the candidates for the 2 open board seats that we will be voting for in June. Who is running for these 2 seats? Thank you, Carolyn Waldron.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Waldron, and thank you, District Clerk Eliasoff, for reading that question. We will be holding a Meet the Candidates night. It'll be next Tuesday night, May 26th. It'll be directly after the budget hearing. I believe the budget hearing is at 8 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Dr. Finn?
Yep.
Or Dr. District Clerk?
Yes, that's correct. Mhm.
Okay, so 8 o'clock, directly after the budget hearing, will be the Meet the Candidates night. There are 2 seats open, and there are 3 people running. Ms. Christine Aguilar, Vice President Bolzomi, and myself, President John DeFrisco, are running for 2 seats. It'll be recorded, and it'll be, we'll have a Zoom meeting invite out there for the public to view.
and we're working
If I
on
could
what
just-
the format will look like,
Yes.
correct, Ron?
Work on the format. Thank you, Vice President Bolzomi and Dr. Finn. Working on the format because we're trying to work with the League of Women Voters who usually run this, and unfortunately they've been unavailable to speak with over the past week and a half to 2 weeks at least. So thank you very much, Vice President Bolzomi and Dr. Finn, for that.
Okay.
There being no other questions, may I have a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss negotiations?
John, President DeFrisco, I'm sorry. Could I just make a quick comment before we
Sure. Oh, yeah,
close
sure,
the meeting?
Yeah.
And I apologize, and I know I mentioned this at our last executive meeting, but this goes out to our administrators and Mr. Renga, to you as well. I follow politics pretty closely, and we had touched on this earlier. It was mentioned about this Reimagine Education with Cuomo and Gates, and I'll tell you, Cuomo doesn't really scare me, but Gates, with all the money they have, and Google, they concern me. And my fellow board members, I'm sure will agree with me, but they could speak for themselves. I don't support this Reimagine education. I don't think it should be virtual. I don't believe it, in any way, shape, or form can you replace a teacher. The emotional, the social, the interaction that they get from not just the teachers, the administrators as well. But just knowing, as I said, I follow it, fairly closely. And I noticed he hasn't said much about it, and they're kind of working behind the scenes. And I have some friends in the Senate and the Assembly, which I'm trying to get some info, but they're keeping it very quiet. I don't know what their plans are, and I'm sure, Mr. Renga, you being the union president there, I'm sure you speak to other union leaders and your association. I'm sure they're on top of this, and hopefully they are. I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I'm certainly not in favor of it. And as I said, my fellow board members, I could say probably agree with that, but they could speak for themselves. But know that, from my end and our end, I would say you have our support to not vote for or approve anything like that.
Thank you very much, Vice President
Very
Bolzoni.
angry that they took the word reimagine from us, and we mean it differently. Definitely. Somebody else is raising their hand. Joe, was that you?
Well, I'll just say that, can you hear me? Everybody can hear me?
Yes.
I'll just say that, I fully agree with Anthony. We had talked about this as a board. When I first heard Governor Cuomo give the speech, the first thing that rang in my ears was he was looking at ways to cut expenses because his school aid is short because of everything that's gone on with COVID. So I certainly don't support any reimagine of, what we do normally. We got to get back to normal for all the pluses that gives our students going forward. And, the only worry that the board has, because I don't think reimagine will go forward on Long Island, but we're still concerned about the aid that we will get from the state and how that will impact all school districts on Long Island, because the first preference is always New York City for aid and then everybody after that. So that's certainly top of mind, but me personally, and I know with conversations with my fellow board members, we're certainly not in favor of changing anything that we've done as the normal course of doing business in the school district. So, and thank you all for I've said it at pretty much every meeting, but to everyone who's gone above and beyond and done things they never thought they would have to do to teach our kids and conduct class and everything like that. All the administrators, teachers, support staff, etc. Thank you. It's much appreciated by me, the community, and all the board members. So thank you very much.
My pleasure. We like to
Well,
say.
I agree with Joe and Anthony. I think the Cuomo's Reimagine New York is just another way that he can surround himself with tech billionaires and CEOs like Eric Schmidt from Google and Dowling from Northwell and Mike and the Gates Foundation. This Reimagine New York is, I think Cuomo should stick to the transportation, the healthcare systems, and taking care of New York's economy. Every year, the school board and school boards in general are tasked with putting forth a budget. If you all will recall, there's not many people on the line, but if you will recall, the only budget you get to vote on is your school budget. You don't vote on any other budget. I know that Cuomo likes to surround himself with billionaires and Billy Joel riding his Harley, and this is just another ploy to I think divert attention. They should focus on balancing the state's budget. They should focus on the money that they're spending on charter schools and put that money into public education. So again, the only budget that you vote on is this school budget. You don't vote on the federal budget. You don't vote on the state budget. You don't vote on the county budget. You don't even vote, if you live in a village, you don't vote on that budget either. So the school board, we're tasked with putting this forth every year, and we've managed to, in Carl Place I'm talking about, we've managed to do a great job over years and years. So this Reimagine New York is, I can't see how it's going to go forth successfully for anybody. Thank you.
Well, very well said. I mean, yeah, I mean, our budgets are always below the cap. And we do a great job of, working with the administration. The teachers do an unbelievable job. The staff, everybody does a great job. And he should stick to the things that he should be working on, which is, I just say, Trustee Zino and everybody else, transportation, the economy, the infrastructure of the state, and, not worry about us as a school district, because we're doing just fine without his intervention. And, we're figuring out the one-to-one thing without him. And
Exactly.
we don't need him to get involved with us. So
And we were talking one-to-one before this pandemic. And like I like to say, it's our first pandemic, hopefully our last.
Yeah.
And every district is feeling the pain. I don't care who you are, what district you're from, nobody is happy about this. So for him to cavalierly say, we don't need physical school buildings and teachers, that is absolutely false. We absolutely need our
Nuts.
teachers.
He's nuts. And Bill Gates was not so, and is not popular after his projections on this pandemic. And he certainly, looked down upon by a lot of people these days in regards to his foundation and their comments about the pandemic, et cetera. So I think Cuomo's teaming up with the wrong issue and the wrong people, and it's going to go nowhere. And maybe we'll get a new governor as a result. So much the better.
Absolutely. And I will add that Larry does appreciate the technology, because he could be on the beach while we're having this meeting. So,
I have to say, the 5 of you are advanced. I had to teach my mom how to use Zoom, and it was quite funny. You all picked it up right away. It was a little harder.
And also, just one last thank you to the parents who have worked with their kids during this time also, as partners with us. So, I mean, it's been tough on them as well. So, thank you.
Come on, everybody. Thank you, John, and thanks to the board for your support. We appreciate it.
So, I think, do I have a motion and a second yet, or did I?
motion, so move Bolzomi.
I'll second it.
Okay. This is going to go for an executive for negotiations. Any discussion? All's in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passed unanimously 4-0. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice night.
Good night, everybody.
Enjoy your Memorial Day.
Thank you, everybody.
Enjoy
Take care. Stay
your
healthy.
Memorial Day. Be
Yes.
safe and
Yes,
well.
have a good Memorial Day. Thank you.
One, two.
Safe and be well. Thank you. Thank you.
Brittany,
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah.